Alright, boys and girls, today we're going to be reviewing the letter F. So here at the top of my page, I'm going to write an uppercase F, and I'm going to write a lowercase f. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at all of these pictures, and we're going to decide if it begins with F. F makes the F sound. So we're going to circle the pictures that begin with F. So let's look at our first one. We have the fork. A fork. The first sound in fork is F. So we're going to circle it because it does begin with F. Let's look at our next one. We have a farm. Farm. What's the first sound we hear in farm? Good, it's F. So we will circle it. Let's look at the next one. We have a mop. Mop. What's the first sound we hear in mop? Is the first sound, so we will not circle it. What's the first sound we hear in fox? Fox. Right, it's F, so we will circle it. Let's go to our next one. What's the first sound we hear in seal? Seal. Right, it's S, so we will not circle it. Let's look at the next one. Tent. Tent. What's the first sound in tent? The first sound in tent is t, so we will not circle it. Let's look at the next one. We have a fan. Fan. What's the first sound we hear? Right, f, so we will circle it. Let's look at the next one. We see a foot. Foot. What's the first sound we hear in foot? Good, it's f, so we will circle it. So we've circled all the things that begin with F. Let's say all the words that begin with the F sound. Fork, farm, fox, fan, foot. What I want you to do is under each one, I want you to draw a line. And I want you to try to sound out the words on your own. So what sounds do you hear in fork, farm, fox, fan, and foot? Fan and foot. So the first sound in all of them will be a F. And then I want you to try to sound out the rest. Okay? On the next page, okay, I want you to do this, just so we can say it's for each one. So you're going to practice tracing your uppercase F and your lowercase f on each line. And then you're going to say the name of each picture and circle it if it begins with F. Okay? So you'll trace each one and circle the ones that begin with F. When you're done, you'll send me pictures to Google, Classroom, ClassDojo, or my email.